Alright, so this is the start of day 3. I kind of ended the day 1, day 2 video just a few minutes ago here on this same morning, but I wanted to give you guys a little look. I stayed in a tent just a few feet from here, but I wanted to give you a look at what the kind of typical shelter looks like in Vermont. It's got 4 bunks in there, wood platform bunks. It sleeps about 8. I'll turn the camera around here so you guys can see. So a lot of these shelters and campsites have a privy, basically an outhouse. You might be able to see that right up there on the hill. One of these days I'll give you a better shot of one of those. But most of these shelters have a trail journal to sign in on or register. Kind of the inside here. Sorry, I put my finger in front of the lens. But that's it right there, man. I know sometimes when I mention a shelter on here, if you haven't seen it, you might not know what I'm talking about. So there you go. Okay, so as I was saying, this is the beginning of day 3. I got my bag hanging behind me. I was on this beautiful campsite here, just overlooking, well, just on the edge of about a 75 drop down into an awesome creek down there. Got to sleep to these sounds all night, as I mentioned in the previous video. But I kept sliding down towards the end of my tent, the foot end of my tent, which bumped my my quilt up against the wall. Got a little condensation on there, so perfect that the sun is beating right on it. Hopefully we'll get a little dried out before we break down. We get a little bit of a late start today. There are still a few people in camp, but the plan is to go about 4.5 miles, jump off into Bennington, Vermont, maybe upload some video, buy a couple of things that I've kind of either forgotten about or just need, and so we're going to do that, and then get back on the trail. See how the sun is really, there we go. Then get back on the trail and do about 1.5 miles to the next shelter. That'll allow me to get about 7 miles in today. Again, starting out a little slower than I wanted to, but I think that's probably a good deal, because I want to try to push this thing to the end and not burn out right away. So I had planned to do 10 to 14s to start out, but man, you know, the terrain is not overly difficult. Certainly, I would say not as difficult really even as northern Georgia, but it is going to take a few days to get my trail legs underneath me. So that's the plan for today. Might check in a little bit on the trail. Trying to get a little bit better at picking some good spots to shoot video while on the trail. This is a kind of a work in progress. Once I get into Bennington, might take a shot there or two, but I'm going to try to rush as much as possible in there, get into a cafe, upload some video, hit a store, buy what I need, and then hopefully get back to the trail. I'd like to get into that next shelter before dark, if possible. Don't mind night hiking a little bit, but it is going to be straight up out of Bennington. So even though it's only 1.5 miles, I think it's about 1,000 feet of elevation gain. So hopefully I'll be doing that on a belly full of pizza and soda. It's crazy. I'm not a huge soda drinker, but man, that is what I crave when I'm out here on the trail. For some reason, I just crave soda. So I'll probably drink 3 or 4 of those when I get into town today, and maybe get some pizza and then get back out here. But it's been awesome, man. I'm excited still about the trip. Let's see, this is morning of day 3. I guess in another day or so I will have put in my longest trip so far, and then hopefully be able to push this thing through the end of the month. I got to meet up with a young lady who is the first person I've actually come across a ton of AT through hikers and long distance, long section hikers, but mostly flip-floppers, for those that are trying to do a through hike this year. But I came across my first long trail end-to-ender. And we had actually met up on the Facebook group for the long trail end-to-end, or the long trail group online that the Green Mountain Club just set up. So that was kind of awesome. Hopefully I'll see her a couple more times along the trail, though I think she might push ahead today, so we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get this tent knocked down, get packed up, and so we can hit the trail here in just a few minutes. All right, I'll show you a little bit of the trail this morning. It's a little bit warmer this morning, not hot by any stretch. Beautiful morning. Trail is still wet, but it seems to be drying up a little bit. This is what it's given us so far. Every once in a while you get these boardwalks and they save your feet a little bit, but normally right when you get off you're in a mud puddle, so not sure how much they save you. But anyway, this is what the trail's given us this morning. Just a beautiful day so far. Checking again soon. Okay, so this is the trail right now. Kind of walking upstream, literally in the middle of the stream. It's kind of a game out here. See how long you can keep your feet dry. Yeah, it was a good 15 minutes this morning. All right, it's been going up a little bit. Just about ready to come up here towards the hump of, I think it's called HARMON Hill. And the reason I started filming was it looks like there's an opening and I'm hoping to get a view. So I'll let you go up this muddy incline with me. See what it looks like. That's awesome. Not sure what we're looking at here, but it's off apparently to the west. So good deal. That paid off a little bit. So now we're pretty much at the top. It's almost directly downhill from here into the parking lot where we will catch a ride into Bennington. There's a bunch of hikers heading into Bennington today. Grab something to eat. Check in again soon. All right, so we just summited HARMON Hill. This is the view overlooking Bennington, Vermont. We're about to go in there in a few minutes, about an hour, I guess, right? Probably. A couple miles. Gonna go in there, get something to eat, get a couple items, and I'm gonna also try to upload video for the last 2 days. So be on the lookout for that, or actually by the time you see this, it will have already happened. So anyway, this is where we are. All right, we made it down to Vermont Highway 9 here at the trailhead, and it's 5 miles into Bennington. So for this small group I'm with right now, it's the first time hitchhiking for all of us. So we'll see how it goes. So far, no luck. There's a bus that comes through, but man, it's a few hours from now, and there's no phone service here to give them a call. So if you're seeing this and you're headed this way at some point, you may want to call from the top of HARMON Hill if you need the bus service to pick you up. They will pick you up if you give them a call. It's called the Green Mountain Express. But anyway, we're gonna try our luck here. I'm not sure if I would pick me up, but hell, we're in Vermont. It's supposed to be nice here. So anyway, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Anyway, we'll keep working at it. All right, taking a little break here. This is what's called in the guidebook split rock. For obvious reasons, the trail goes right between it, but the real reason I stopped was just come up 0.6 straight up, man. Out of Route 9 and right outside of Bennington, the trail goes straight up to the MELVILLE, NAUHEIM, I guess, shelter. Got a mile from right here. In that mile, we're probably gonna gain another 700 feet of elevation, but I'm gonna get ready to push it here in a second. I'm doing okay on time. We get there before dark. Went into town and just crushed some pizza. Raymonto's. Highly recommend that in Bennington. Awesome, good, great people, very nice. Let us sit there for a while and charge phones and all kinds of stuff. So, good deal. I highly recommend it if you're on the trail and you stop in Bennington. Go check them out. Yeah, it's just a tough haul, man. Coming out of, sitting in a restaurant for 2 hours, 3 hours, something like that. Did a little bit of resupply, but anyway, I'll try to check in again when we get to the shelter. Not sure what to expect when we get there, how many people they're going to be, or whether there'll be space in the shelter. But I'll tell you, if there's space in the shelter tonight, I may just crash there, so I don't have to go through trouble setting up my tent. But ordinarily I would do that because I prefer the tent, but whatever. All right, I'm out. All right, well, getting ready to get going here on day 4. Stayed at the MELVILLE NAUHEIM shelter last night. It was pretty good. Not a lot of people here. A few tents, a few in the shelter. I'm only gonna do about 9 miles today. Get up to close to the summit of Glastonbury. So I'm gonna get started here in a minute. Should have some pretty good views on the way, and we'll stop and check those out. All right, so we're at a Powerline Lookout again. You can see down below, it's a town of Bennington. That mountain right there towards the right side of the screen is HARMON Hill. That's where we were yesterday. And then back around this side, Mount Snow out to the east. Nice view, cool breeze, lots of gnats. Okay, so we're just entering the Glastonbury Wilderness here in Green Mountain National Forest. The wilderness areas are by definition supposed to be in the wild, so fewer markings on the trail, less blazing, less trail maintenance. All counts for a little bit rougher terrain, but that's cool. Just got to make sure you don't go off trail in these areas. Tend to be the places where people get lost if they do get lost. So got a nice early start this morning, about 7:40. Still kind of cool. Well, we've kind of gone straight up out of camp this morning, so building up a little sweat. Anyway, talk to you soon. Sometimes you just come across nature doing its thing here. So see this mushroom living on the side of a tree with a slug making this mushroom its home, at least for a little bit. Pretty cool. Well, we're still trudging through Glastonbury Wilderness, about to come up to Hell Hollow Brook, but pretty exciting. Haven't not yet seen a moose, but there are moose in the area because we came across a big pile of moose poop. Answering the question, does a moose poop in the woods, I guess. But yeah, pretty interesting. Holding out hope now that at some point here soon I'll see an actual moose. And depending on what the brook looks like, I may pick it back up over there. Check back inside. Hell Hollow Brook. I'm chilling out here for a few minutes. This place called Porcupine Lookout. Cool little campsite right here, stealth campsite, but a nice view. I'm not sure which one of those is Snow Mountain, but I'm guessing it's that over there. Alright, so, not sure if you can see these, but
keep blowing.
Right near center of the screen, see 4 windmills out there. Pretty cool. Alright, so it's getting close to midday now. We stopped at Lookout a little while ago, about 4 hikers. Kind of cool at these various landmarks like lookouts and stuff. Hikers just kind of congregate to take breaks. everyone hiking at different speeds. So most of the time when you're hiking, you're kind of alone. But gathering up kind of during the day, I wanted to show this because I really like these little areas that I've been popping through every once in a while. These areas of of fern, they look pretty cool. Well, we're headed downhill now after climbing for quite a bit. There's supposed to be another lookout up here. Trying to get into camp kind of early today, maybe around 3:30, because there's a rainstorm that's supposed to roll through here this afternoon. So if I can beat that, that'd be a really good thing. All right, well, if that lookout is worth looking at, I'll pop back in here in a few minutes.